Hello class and welcome to another practice. Today we're going to just review and check what we learned. Last time we spoke to Simon Callow about acting. We listened to the interview and we learned so many things like modifiers. Now today we're just going to practice what you learned. Let's start. It's a short practice. We start by modifiers. Complete the modifiers in the sentences. You can stop the video and do it yourself, or you can do it with me, as always. The actors were utterly exhausted when the play was over. Okay, number 2. The plot left the audience feeling completely bewildered. As far as I'm concerned, the movie was tremendously overrated. So far, reviews of the play have been overwhelmingly positive. Number 5, Mozart was an extraordinary talented musician. Number 6, the director was absolutely delighted to receive the award, and all of the characters were wearing fantastically original costumes. Very well. And the second short exercise for today is a reading. The making of Amadeus. Alright, so you're going to just read this article and circle the correct answer, A, B, or C. Take your time, there's no rush, I'll be waiting for you.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's read it together. The play Amadeus was written by the English playwright Peter Shaffer. He came up with the idea after reading extensively about the composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. In the course of his reading, he was struck by the contrast between the quality of Mozart's music, which was obviously the work of a genius, and the silliness of his letters written to his family and friends, which could have been written by an 8-year-old. The tone of the letters were often rather vulgar. Once his play was complete, Shaffer had to decide on a director. The experienced director, John Dexter, had previously directed 3 of Shaffer's plays, so he was the obvious choice. However, the two had an argument about financial issues, so Shaffer had to find an alternative. During a conversation with Peter Hall, the director of the Royal National Theatre, Hall told Shaffer how much he longed to direct Amadeus. Having directed previous productions of most of Mozart's operas, Shaffer decided that he was the ideal person for the job. Before his quarrel with Shaffer, Dexter had already cast Simon Callow, then a young unknown actor, as Mozart. In the period between directors, Callow had started having doubts about his role. He told Shaffer that he didn't think he was the right person to play the composer. Shaffer, however, trusted Dexter's judgments, even though he had no idea about Callow's talents. He reassured Callow, who eventually agreed to go ahead with the role. Rehearsals for the play started badly. At first, when Callow said his lines, the cast got the giggles because the language was so childish and vulgar. But then the playwright and director got the actors together to discuss the childishness behind Mozart's genius, and they began to understand what the play was trying to say. From then on, the actors were impatient for rehearsals to start each day. While they were rehearsing, Shaffer sat in a theater seat, rewriting some of the scenes. According to the playwright, rehearsals were a joy to watch, and both director and actors now felt confident that the play would become a theater classic. On the opening night, Peter Shaffer was criticized by some members of the audience for portraying Mozart as an imbecile. Others, however, praised the way in which the playwright had chosen to show both sides of the composer's personality. They realized that the vulgarity was meant to highlight Mozart's humanity in contrast to his genius. Despite the controversy, Amadeus was a great success and it won the 1981 Tony Award for Best Play. The play was later adapted by Schaffer for the 1984 Academy Award-winning movie of the same name. Alright, so let's check it together. What was it about Mozart that appealed to Peter Schaffer? Well, the opposing sides of his character. Number two, why did Peter Schaffer ask Peter Hall to direct Amadeus? Well, because he knew a lot about the operas of the main character in the play. Number three, who had doubts about Simon Callow's ability to play the leading role? Simon Callow. And number four, what did Peter Schaffer do while the cast was rehearsing? He adapted some of his original ideas. And last one, what was the initial reaction to the play? Well, its reception was mixed. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Very good, and that's the short practice for today. And that's the short practice for today. You see, no matter what happens, we practice on a regular basis. If you have a question, you can comment down below and I will get back to you. And as always, if you need me to teach you something, please let me know. Well, make sure to like and subscribe. The show goes on. Bye-bye.